So this is what it is so far. This is not my list, of course, but I've had a lot of disputes or refutes over how he's ranked everything thus far. If you've missed part one, it would be on my Tonism channel. Let's continue on with how he ranks all this other bullshit. Some of these things are too close together, like I said.
Unfortunately, women just are not turned on or attracted to religious men. If you're religious, that's great. Make sure you go for a religious girl who's also on the same morals and principles that you're in, or you're just gonna struggle. Next, we have emotional strength. This is also fucking OP. Most guys these days are way too needy for girls. They're way too simpy.
Did I even cover religion last time? Religious men? If a man's attractive enough, him being religious is not necessarily going to repel women. If anything, it's going to attract more. Here's why. He was right. YBC too cold. He's right about, we inherently do have a sinful nature as women, and sometimes it's fun to either you know or you don't. Sometimes it's fun to fuck shit up. I'm gonna just put it out there. So wait, the second one was what now?
This is also
emotional strength. Yeah, that definitely is in the right spot.
They can't tell when a girl's manipulating them, and unfortunately this lowers their desire for you, because when you can be emotionally controlled and manipulated by them, they start to lose respect for you, and they start to feel unsafe around you, because they're like, if I can manipulate him, anyone can manipulate him. This guy's weak. Being emotionally strong and being able to let her go is going to help you win in the long term and actually keep and maintain her, because the looks and height, that's all superficial shit. That's all gonna get your foot in the door. What's going to keep her is what you're made of on the inside as a man. That's what's actually going to keep her. And don't be fooled. Every woman is going to test your emotional strength. Every woman is going to see what you're made of long term. She's going to do things like pull away. She's going to give you shit tests. She's going to put you in difficult situations. If you're not able to pass these things with flying colors, her attraction is going to drop, and she's already going to start looking for the next guy. Next up, we have ambition. Overrated. When women say, I really want a guy who's ambitious, what they really mean is, I want a guy who has the potential to make a lot of money and be a provider for me. They're not really attracted to your ambition for you as a person. It's more about, does this guy have an opportunity to be a provider for me? Because she's worried that, like, oh, you're going to be rich in the future and you're going to leave her. So she basically manipulates you with this illusion of purity to get you to chase her and to basically secure your resources and your survival value. Next up, we have race.
Goodness
and
gracious.
This is actually underratedly, I don't know where I'm going to put this. It's one of these two. I'm gonna put it at non-negotiable, man. Some women have a very strong race preference. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's studies more likely to go for white guys. People are more likely to date within their own race, black to black, Asian to Asian, etc. Now, this is a pretty controversial subject, but I'm just gonna tell you guys the truth. If you're white, you're going to have a higher chance with all of the other races, including Asian.
Damn. That is a harsh truth. Okay. Hell yeah. That's a sensitive ass topic. Look, depending on who you are and how you perceive life, no, I'm not even gonna say it. I was gonna say anybody can attract anybody, but they have to master their own look and style and taste in order to accomplish that, though. I mean, of course, females can step outside of their race much easier than probably a male. Goodness hell. Let's just keep going.
Race does matter, but I'd probably put it at the bottom of non-negotiable, just because it doesn't really define your dating life. But I'd be lying if I said it didn't have an impact. Next up, we have being romantic. Doesn't matter. I'd actually recommend you don't be romantic, because true romantics, women are not. Don't let them fool you when they say they want flowers.
He ain't lying. He is not lying. Not at all. I know us women can be emotional, but fuck. When men get in their feelings, it's like, oh fucking shit. Now, I'm not talking about feelings of vulnerability in terms of, how do I put this? Fucking hell. Something unrelated to her. Oh my gosh. I'm live streaming right now.
Alright, I'm about to join your stream, but TonismGames, right?
Yeah.
Got you. Alright, I'll see you in chat.
Alright, cool, thanks. Man. So as I was saying, with men being romantic and shit, there's nothing wrong with a man showing his feelings in terms of caring and stuff, like how much he cares. However, when a man is to his feelings in a negative way, yeah, of course, a lot can go wrong there. Turn her off, for one. That's a dead given. Second, it's kind of feminine for a man. Well, That's different from being emotional. Emotional strength is its own category and it's already at the top. So, I mean, being romantic doesn't matter. The fuck? Out of here. I think it does matter. Men are romantic in a different way than women are, of course. There's easily men like to show it more physically. And then, if a man has the means, he's gonna show it through money, gifts, nice dinners, maybe a nice spa treatment. However way he's balling. I'm doing well this check, you get to have a slice of cheese on your Whopper. I mean, it depends on the guy. I'm not judging. But different guys have their own ways of being romantic, and if a woman doesn't appreciate it, then he should probably just move on because he's wasting his energy.
Flowers and chocolates and to be spoiled, that's all a fairy tale Disney movie illusion. The second you do those things is the second that she starts to feel like she's above you, and the second that she starts to take you for granted. Am I saying don't be romantic at all? Obviously, if you're dating a girl, you're gonna have to do nice gestures for her, you're gonna have to buy her stuff. That's completely fine. Just don't be over the top emotional and romantic. It actually turns them off. Next up, being edgy / the bad boy. Very, very attractive. If you're the guy cracking controversial jokes, if you're the guy she can't take anywhere, you're edgy, you always get in trouble. This is a huge turn on for women because, like I said, they always want a problem to fix.
It's definitely not a must-have by any means.
They want to change you.
I agree on that. That's one thing I can definitely stand on. You guys hear that shit? Okay. This might sound like a dumb question, but is there any way to silence a big ass fan within a powerful 1K PC desktop? Because this ain't no fucking laptop. Powerful desktop with a big ass fan with a fan knob, and no matter which way I turn it, it's just still loud as shit. Do I change the fan? Oh my goodness, this shit sound like a leaf blower over here. What the hell did I just click?
Women have this fantasy of like the guy who's a monster, the guy who's bad or whatever, but he's only nice to them. Wow. He's only good for them. He also displays characteristics like masculinity, like confidence, assertiveness, etc. These guys are usually cocky. These guys usually talk about themselves and brag, etc. And I'm gonna put being a problem right next to it for the exact same reason. Next, we have stoicism. This is overrated. It's not quite the same thing as emotional strength because a lot of people who embody the
This motherfucker, wow. Stoicism is not overrated. I am a big fan of stoicism. If you don't know what it is, you can probably shoot me a DM, or I might do a video about it one day. Maybe a comment. I might explain it if you're lucky. If you ask on Snapchat, Tonism987. But stoicism is not overrated, okay? I think in terms of women, males attracting women, okay, that's what this tier scale is based upon. Stoicism is OP, along with emotional strength and confidence. Those are some OP traits that belong at the top tier, but they're not. Again, I have some oppositions with how majority of these traits are placed. Again, if you missed part 1, should be on my Tonism channel. Ooh, shit.
Stoic philosophy
there you
tend
go.
to just be very... Dude, you have to have emotion in your voice. Your tone has to display emotion. There needs to be some flavor in your personality, okay? A lot of stoic people are just boring to women. You should be stoic on the inside, but not stoic on the outside, if that makes sense. Next up, competence. This is probably at the top, I don't know, top of very attractive or bottom of non-negotiable. I'll put it at the top of very attractive because competence also signals masculinity. If she has a physical problem and you don't know how to fix it, like changing a tire or like there's a plumbing issue and you don't know how to fix it, it's not a complete deal breaker, but it does turn her off. Women are attracted to competent men who know how to fix and solve shit. Next up, we have social proof. This is technically the same as pre-selection, so I'm gonna put it at 2 OP. But I guess social proof also means that not only do other women like you, guys also like you, which is a pretty big bonus too. Next, we have fashion. This is kind of overrated. I know guys who dress horribly, they don't have any fashion at all, and they still get girls. Most clothes are actually...
Oh, no, bro. I gotta disagree with you there. Fashion is not overrated, you son of a bitch. Listen, fashion... Okay, I will say, there are a lot of women that do fuck some bummy ass niggas. But... it doesn't mean it should be above, doesn't matter. No. Okay, fashion, it's not a must. Because again, some women be fucking some bummy ass niggas, but because they got big dicks or they got good game, they can talk their shit. It doesn't matter. I would put it at very attractive. It's a plus. Overrated? Hell no.
Quite well and look quite good on you. Next up, experience, very attractive. Reason I'm not putting it higher is because you can kind of fake experience. Like, women want a guy who's experienced with women, but
that's
if
true.
you're not, you can always pretend that you are. You don't have to go out and tell her, hey, by the way, you're actually the first girl I'm talking to. I'm actually a virgin.
Yeah.
Don't say that shit if you are. Just
definitely
keep
not.
it cool, keep it player. Next, we have patience. This is a non-negotiable. So many of you guys lose girls because you want things to move and progress too quickly. You just started talking to her, you want to take her out on a date. You just started talking to her, you're already planning on making her your girlfriend by week 3. Slow things down.
That's
Let
too
the
quick.
timeline extend, okay? If you guys don't talk for a week or
But
2
hey,
weeks or
I've
3
been
weeks,
guilty of
that's
it.
perfectly fine. Just pay for pussy. Either pay for pussy or hook up with a girl who's easy to get
Well,
with. But if you want
damn.
high quality girls, you're next we have being offensive. This is also very attractive for the same
Being
reason
offensive,
being
yeah.
a bad boy is attractive. When you offend her, you engage her emotions. You create not only good experiences but bad experiences too, as opposed to the nice guy who only makes her feel
I
good.
agree.
He only plays it safe because he's scared to lose her. When you're offensive, it shows that you don't give a fuck and you are who you are. So it's very attractive. Next up, we have selfishness. Top of very attractive. Women only want you when you want yourself. Okay, you have to be obsessed with yourself. You have to be almost narcissistic because they perceive that as, this guy is so about himself, I'm not gonna take him off his purpose. He's probably gonna make a shit ton of money and I can't deviate him from that path. I feel safe when I'm around him. Women absolutely love selfish guys as much as they say, I want a guy who's all about me. Bullshit. Next we have
that's
good
wild.
listener. I'm gonna put this at over.
I ain't heard that
Still
shit
kind of
before.
matters, like, don't just only talk about yourself and not listen. But when women say they want a good listener, it doesn't fucking matter nearly as much as they say it does. Next up, we have being a mystery. This is very attractive. If you signal to the woman that you're very busy, you don't have a lot of time to reply, she's always going to be wondering what you're doing. It also engages her emotions. I think you guys are seeing a theme here, engaging her emotions, right? Next, we have being cold, and this actually turns a lot of women off. Like, you guys need to have some coldness in you, but you can't be way too cold because you have to give them something, right? You have to feed them scraps at the very least.
Damn, bro, you are fucking, you are brutal. Goodness hell. Well, this is gonna be an interesting video to edit, I'll tell you that much. I'm saving the red flags tier list for last. That was damn near a tongue twister. Let's do this one next. This one looks interesting. Attention tier list. I mean, it's still related to attention. I was gonna change the title of the stream, but there's no fucking point since it's still related to attention.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's time to rank every single sign that a girl just wants your attention but not necessarily you. So we're going to be ranking them based on how hard these signs are to recognize, right? Because women are the masters of concealing when they're actually using you for attention and when they don't actually like you. They can easily fool so many men into thinking, oh wait, she's actually interested in me, maybe I have a chance with her. Meanwhile, she's using cunning and deceptive tactics to make you think that she likes you, when in actuality she just wants certain things from you and she will ultimately never give you what you want from her. So we're going to be ranking it on a scale from invisible sign, which means these signs are very hard to recognize. They fool a lot of men. You should really pay attention to these. Hopefully after this video you'll know about them so you can be aware if they do happen. On top of that, we have subtle signs, which means you just need to be sharp to be able to see these things. Moderate sign means you can tell that she's using you for attention, but again, there's so many naive guys in this world that some of them actually can't tell. On top of that, we have strong sign, which means it's actually pretty concerning at this point if you can't tell that she's just using you for attention. She's making it so obvious. And then on the top, this is the most obvious sign. You're just never gonna hit. Like, it's so obvious that she just wants your attention and nothing else to do with you. So the first thing we have here is when a woman says, buy me a drink. This usually happens at like a bar or a club or whenever you're out, and then, you know, you get some choosing signals from a girl. You see her and then she's like, yeah, buy me a drink, or she tries getting you to buy her a drink. Please don't be naive. She's trying her best to finesse you. Every single friend I know, every single person.
Damn right. I agree with that shit. Yeah, don't do it. I hear a lot of cases of girls getting their drinks. And they drink it, bounce on to the next motherfucker, get their next free drink. And they get wasted. And then they hit up that one motherfucker they've been wanting to fuck and see if he's available. No, go on to the next one. Which is the next hottest, most available guy? Just keep going down that list until someone responds, and you just fuck them off of someone else's dime. That's ridiculous. Ladies, if you're gonna go out, pay for your own fucking drinks. You don't want to walk around these bars and clubs thinking motherfuckers owe you something or you owe them something.
I know who's ever bought drinks with a girl, they never end up hooking up with them. These women are just
Right.
using you. I don't even think they're using you for attention. They're just using you to get a free drink out of you. So whenever you're chilling by the bar and then a chick tells you to buy her a drink, never fall for this, guys. She's just finessing you. You're just going to end up wasting money for no reason. A lot of these simps think that if they buy her a drink, they're going to raise her interest and she's going to get to know them more. 99% of the time you buy her that drink, she's going to talk to you a little bit because she feels bad, and then she's going to quickly finesse her way out of the conversation and then disappear. I used to have a friend a couple years ago who always bought chicks drinks. He would always leave the bar having spent like $60 on chicks. He never got with a single one of them. And for you like religious guys, oh, it's not about hooking up. Yeah, he never dated any of them either. So while you're sat there buying her a free drink, complimenting her and giving her free attention, she's secretly grinning and rubbing her hands together like, I got this fucking idiot. I'm gonna put this at moderate sign. A lot of guys just cannot tell that when a girl asks them to buy her a drink and they don't know her, that she's probably just using them. Next up, she only reaches out to you when she wants something. Hey, can you help me with my homework? Hey, can you drive me to the mall today? Hey, do you want to go shopping? Whenever she needs you to either accompany her doing something, or whenever she wants you to do a physical task for her, hey, can you fix my toilet? Whatever, right? If she's always asking you to fix stuff for her, and that's...
Yeah, that's definitely a dead giveaway. Ah, gosh, damn. Yeah, that's a sign that you got a user, not so much someone who's a girlfriend material. Because the thing about us women is when we're into a guy, it's the other way around. There are such thing as female simps, women simps. They exist. When a woman is into a guy, she will cater to whatever need or want, desire he may have, and there's no fuss about it. There's no IOUs or anything. Women are usually very giving, but that's honestly very rare to see nowadays. At least in public, a good woman is not going to display her simping for her men in public so much. Not too much.
The problem is that women are so good at concealing it that most guys can't tell, which is why I'm actually going to put this as subtle sign. It's not so obvious to tell when a woman does this. Some women will literally ask you for something in such a sweet and flirty way to get you to think that she has any level of interest in you. Meanwhile, she just wants the thing that you're about to do for her, right? She doesn't want you. But sometimes they even use men as their own personal escorts. I've seen this happen before. Basically what they'll do is they'll say, hey, do you want to come to like this social event with me? And you're like, oh, she's asking me to come with her. This is great. That means she likes me. You're with her. You guys are alone. Everything's fine. The second you get to a place where all of her other friends are, or like where she's in a place where there's a bunch of people, it's like you don't even exist to her anymore. It's like she's...
Damn, that's sad. I ain't never heard. Well, I know these cases exist, but I mean, damn, actually, like, to be in the middle of that situation, within the guy's perspective, that just sounds depressing. One, if she doesn't disclose that her friends are showing up, then yeah, it'd be easy to fall for that. But if she says, hey, come to this event with me, and then you go with her, and then all of a sudden all of her friends are there, and she didn't warn you about that, then it suddenly is not a date anymore. It's just a fucking kickback for her. Mainly, she would technically be the center of attention because she pulled you away from your element to be in her element just to not acknowledge you anymore. That is sad, bro. That is sad in my opinion. Either you're tricked or I don't know why you would even accept this scenario.
Next, we have most of your interactions seem to be on text. I want every single person watching this video who's talking to a girl to just evaluate. Are most of my interactions with this girl over the phone, over social media, over text? Or do I actually see her in real life? Because I guarantee you that so many men have this problem where like it seems like it's so easy to text the girl. She's very receptive. You guys are sending each other stuff, going back and forth. But it's like fucking hell trying to meet up with her. You have to, it's almost like you have to fucking jump through hoops to be able to see her, right? If it feels like most of your interactions are on text or even...
Nah, if a girl is doing that shit, that is a clear indicator that she is a low interest woman. You gotta leave those alone. You only gotta interact with the ones who have genuine interest and like you for you, at least. hopefully for the most part, or at least as much as you're willing to show about yourself. Don't disclose everything at once.
You're just a +1 extra guy on her inbox, because I guarantee you're not the only guy she's doing this with. There's probably 5 to 10 other guys that she's doing this with, and there's only one guy that she's linking, and unfortunately you're just not that guy. So I'm gonna put this at strong sign. You should easily be able to tell that a girl is only using you for attention if for the life of you you're just not able to meet up with her. Next up we have, you're able to meet up with her but not alone. So every time you see her, there's always other people, other friends. You can never link her one-on-one. She always makes it so that when you see her, there's like a bunch of other people around and you can't see.
Run. That is a clear indication, at least in my opinion. I'm surprised other people don't pick up on that sign so well, or at least able to decipher it as well. She's wasting your time. If she ain't trying to be alone with you, she ain't trying to be intimate with you. And if you continue to hang out with her, you're only wasting your time. You could be spending that time talking to a girl that actually want to give you some booty. So that's how I feel about it.
To get that one-on-one time with her, I hate to break it to you, it is so over, bro. This should immediately ring alarm bells in your head, like, okay, this girl is not interested whatsoever. Every time I'm talking to her, there's like 5 other guys in the fucking vicinity talking to her. That's the worst kind of situation you want to be in. So if you can't make her
5
alone,
niggas,
I recommend just moving on from her. Next up we have, she doesn't give you special treatment. There's a guy that she's treating like a king, right? So if she's not giving you special treatment in any way, if she's not like making sacrifices to see you, if she's not like complimenting you and being flirty with you, and she just kind of treats you like an acquaintance, like almost like in this cold way that you're like, okay, she's treating me like everyone else, I don't really get the special treatment from her. Yeah, this is a pretty subtle sign. Many guys don't see this, but you have to be aware, right? You don't know how she's treating other guys unless you're fucking weird.
That is fair. Yeah, I would say it doesn't even belong in the subtle category. It's one thing to be aware about that, knowing that women are talking to other niggas or other dudes, but to sense it when you're vibing with a girl is quite difficult. I would drop it down to the invisible sign category, the red. Very hard to recognize, because if, you know, she's putting one guy on a pedestal and that's her king, right? And she's your wish is my command, and just, you know, rubbing his magic wand all fucking night, then obviously anybody else that she talks to would be perceived as lower, or peasants if you want to be brutal or cruel about it in terms of verbiage. But every woman, for the most part, who's straight at least, is gonna have that one guy, that one nigga, or tragically to say, them handful of niggas that knows what she likes and how to cater to her desires. In that case, everybody else below that would have a lucky chance to even receive a DM response back.
It's gonna be hard to tell where you stand with her, but this is something that you just have to feel out. You have to be like, I don't know, man, I feel like she has a bunch of orbiters and she wants to wrap me up with all these other guys and she's not giving me that special treatment. You know she just wants your attention and not you. Next up, she has orbiters. What are orbiters? Orbiters are just guys that are always around this chick, always giving her validation and attention. They're literally orbiting her the same way moons orbit planets. Women with orbiters tend to want to introduce more orbiters. So think about it this way. If she has a bunch of guys always simping for her and giving her attention and stuff, you might think, well, no, I'm different, I'm masculine. And sure, yeah, she might be attracted to you, but why would she sacrifice the attention that she's getting from like all 9 of these guys to exclusively commit to you and be with you, right? I don't care who you are or who you think you are, you're never going to compete with all the other guys who are giving her attention at the same time. She's trying to create this weird dynamic where she has like 10 guys feeding her attention all at the same time, but she's not fucking any of them. So this one is a pretty strong sign. Next up we have, she doesn't ask questions about you. You see, women love to talk about themselves, we all know this, but if a girl doesn't really know much about you and she's not really asking many questions about you, then there's something to be said about that, because like a lot of the chicks you guys are talking to, the girl doesn't even know like when your birthday is. She doesn't even know what you do for work. She doesn't know anything about you, but you know so much about her. So you have this like weird parasocial relationship going on. If you don't feel seen when you're with a girl, if you don't feel like you're actually there and that you're important, then chances are she's probably using you to just talk about herself, and you're just a free source of attention that she could talk about all her problems to without obviously giving you anything in return. I'll put this at moderate sign. Next up, we have your interactions feel one-sided. Yeah, this is the same thing as her not asking you questions. Like you're giving more than you're getting, then this is almost a guarantee that she's using you for attention. Unfortunately, these are moderate signs, like you can tell, but so many guys purposely neglect this. That's why I'm telling you that it's not going to work out. Next, we have she doesn't want to be intimate. This is so obvious. If you're always trying to initiate physical contact, but she doesn't want it or she refuses it, yet she still spends time with you, she still texts you, she still does all of that. She doesn't want you, she just wants your attention. You guys have to remember, sex to you is like attention to her. So if you're not getting physical and emotional intimacy from her, but she's getting attention from you, she's basically getting the male equivalent of having sex from you, while you're literally getting zero from her. Next up, we have she seems to always be on her phone when you guys are together. This one is a strong sign, guys. And like the thing is, a lot of girls are phone addicts, so sometimes there's actually a chance where they do like you, but they just cannot get off their phones even if they're with you. But if they like you enough, they should have the self-discipline to actually like get off their phones and engage in a conversation. It just wants your
that's
attention
an interesting
anymore. It's just pure
takeaway.
disrespect.
Interesting
You're out with
point.
her, you guys should be happy. Okay, next up we have pulls away then comes back, then pulls
Oh,
away then
hell
comes back.
no.
So it seems like she's just always disappearing and then coming back, and then
Oh,
you know, when you're
no.
not giving her attention, she comes back, but then the second you
Nope, not at all. It's either you gonna be here or not. If not, okay, I will fill my time elsewhere and with people who actually enjoy my presence. I've dealt with people that will just tell you like every fucking thing you want to hear just so they can waste your time and resources, and then when they get it, they fucking vanish for like 3 days to a fucking week, and then all of a sudden they want to have the audacity to reappear and pretend like nothing fucking happened just to take more resources. Nah, put your foot down if you see this shit. It's one thing to be aware of it, but it can be a little trickier to identify when your emotions are involved. You think you have a chance of getting something when she's really just playing you the whole time with no intentions of ever giving it up. It is different when you're ignorant. Hell yeah, you can fall for this shit so damn quick.
give her that source of attention, she leaves again. I'm gonna say this one's a very hard one to recognize, man.
It is not hard to recognize. If she's poofing off, if she's disappearing like the fucking wind, and she's hard to get in touch with, nah. And she didn't even fuck, like something is horribly wrong. You gotta take a step back and go, wait, maybe I should spend less time and energy thinking about this one and look at the people who's actually fucking interested. Like, damn.
Like, hit me up even on Discord saying she left.
You know, sometimes it's a humbling lesson.
A girl who really likes you is gonna be consistent, and she's always gonna show up all the time.
Yeah,
of course, they're gonna do
true.
things like shit tests and like pull back for a little bit and come back.
No,
But
hell
for the most
no.
part, she should always be there and be consistent. When they're using you for attention, it doesn't really matter to them whether you're in their life or not. Like, they will just come back in and out as they see fit, because they know that you don't have the self-respect to actually stop talking to them, and they know that they can just come back whenever they want. So whenever a woman gives you these mixed signals and she seems to be inconsistent and you can't figure her out, 99% of the time she's not interested in you romantically. Next up, we have shit tests, and actually this shouldn't even be on the list, because women actually shit test men that they're interested in. So it's actually a very good sign if you're getting shit tests from women, because it means that they have some level of interest and they just want to see if you'll go weak for them or if you'll reveal your interest level too fast. But shit tests, I'm not going to include this in the list. Next up, we have she's feeding you scraps. This is just when a girl...
Regarding the shit test, I can respect his opinion. Because, yeah, people who have been married, wives will shit test their husbands a lot. Some people think marriage makes things better, but in other cases, it can actually exaggerate some issues. Yeah, fatal attraction.
But then she's not giving you anything of real value. She's just kind of throwing shit at you. This one is a subtle sign, guys. You need to be sharp. It's probably one of the most subtle signs, because a guy will cling to the very little things that she does. Like, if it feels like you're not making any real progress.
Giving scraps is brutal. How did he categorize this shit? Subtle? Subtle's fair. I can agree with that. I'd say that's accurate.
progress, like the relationship isn't going anywhere and she's just kind of feeding you scraps. She just wants your attention. Next up, we have you always seem to initiate the conversations, but she does reply fast. So this is a pretty unique situation where essentially the girl is not flaking and she's not being dry or ghosting or anything, but you always have to initiate the conversation. You always have to text first. You always have to like start things, and then she'll reply fast and like have a conversation with you and stuff. If this is happening to you and she never initiates, chances are, guys, that you're just a source of entertainment and attention for her. All this really means is that you're probably friend zoned and you're a convenient person to talk to, because if she really liked a guy, she would initiate conversations with him way more often. I'm gonna put this one at invisible sign because a lot of guys think just because
damn. Man, he's hanging these fuck up to dry.
because she's replying fast and just because she's texting you that she's interested.
At the same time, that item in particular, whatever the fuck he just said, I'm not gonna rewind for it. That was a broad term. It's like, it was a little bit ambiguous. You were saying almost damn near two things that were opposite at the same damn time, bro. I almost didn't understand what he was saying in the beginning, but it is what it is.
It doesn't matter how much she's replying or how fast or how long the paragraphs she's sending are. What matters is, are you able to meet her in real life? Are you able?
Yeah, and women are definitely going to initiate conversations with people that they're interested in first. Usually, if there's a long delay, it could mean one of two things. Either they have an actual fucking life to live with obligations, bills, responsibilities, etc., personal downtime to recharge your battery and all that shit, or she just don't give a fuck about you and she's not interested.
Can you tell that she's romantically interested in you? Is the way she talks to you feminine and bubbly? You have to pay attention to all these things because those are the true indicators of interest. Next up, we have gives you choosing signals. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's just like when a girl shows you subtle signs that she's interested, smiles at you, goes within your proximity, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to include this in the list because it could go either way. Some women, especially at the gym, they do this. Some women will give you choosing signals and then you'll be like, oh, she wants me, and you go and approach her only for her to reject you.
Right.
Some women will give you choosing signals and they're actually genuinely interested. So it's really hard to tell just based off choosing signals alone whether she wants you for attention.
That's why they say don't mess with girls at the gym. That's one reason, and the second reason is you still gotta go to the fucking gym to self-improve, and what makes you think their schedule's gonna fucking change just because you approach them? If anything, that's going to encourage them to stick to their schedules more.
You're actually gonna have to talk to her and find out. Next up, we have only texts you when she's sad and depressed, or she just went through a breakup with her ex or some shit. Yeah, this one is pretty strong. So actually, this one's so obvious, bro. Like, if you notice that a girl is only texting you to rant about her life, or to complain, or to be like, oh, I hate my ex, whatever, you're just a friend-zoned guy who she's using as a source of comfort and attention, and she does not want you. Next up, you invite her out, and she always says, who else is coming? Very similar to the whole you only seem to see her when other people are around thing.
I ain't never heard that one. Who else is coming?
Pretty fucking obvious. Okay, next, you always initiate text but she replies quickly. Yeah, I think we went over that. Next up, suddenly interested when other girls want you. This one's pretty interesting, man, because you know, sometimes a girl will want nothing to do with you. You're not getting anything out of her, not even a fucking choosing signal, nothing, right? Cold, distant. And then she sees you with like other girls who are as hot as her, if not hotter, and then all of a sudden her interest goes through the fucking roof.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
A lot of guys have experienced now, this is obviously you using pre-selection to your advantage, which is good, but I'm just telling you right now, this is one of the lower forms of interest, because to her it's more about beating the other girls than
it's a fucking competition. Us women, we have a competitive nature, whether we like to acknowledge it or not. So we never respect things when it's too fucking easy. Whether you believe it or not, agree with it or not, it's true. No one likes anything that comes easy.
she sees, oh, this guy attracts other women, let me see if I'm hot enough to actually compete and take him from.
Let me make a correction. If you want something easy, you can fucking pay for it, whatever it is. You don't feel like you're getting scammed when you pay for a meal or dine in and you get that $50 ticket for a meal of 2 and the fucking beverages add up to $8 by itself. Oh gosh. Ooh, this is messy.
from these girls. So it actually has nothing to do with you. It has to do with your attention and the attention of the other girls who are competing for you pretty much. So this one's a pretty subtle sign, but you gotta be sharp. Sometimes it's not about you, it's just about the competition. Next up, she has a boyfriend. So please don't be that fucking guy who's friends with a girl or who talks to a girl who has a boyfriend thinking that you're gonna be next in line when they break up. Some of you guys watching this video, you guys are players and you guys be trying to make girls cheat on their boyfriends and shit. I don't condone that. I realize that it's possible to do that. I don't condone it. But for the majority of women who have boyfriends, if they're talking to you, you're just an extra source of attention. They're fucking their boyfriend, they're not fucking you. So I'm gonna put this at so obvious. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the list. This is everything you need to know about whether a girl...
That is a good one. Ooh, man, how long have I been streaming for? Damn near an hour. Well, I'm gonna end it here.